Hey everybody, how you doing? Daryl here and welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are in the world and wherever you're watching. I wanted to share a quick video with you today and just tell you about something that happened to me while my mother was dying. I definitely heard from God, I can assure you there. So yeah, I'm just sitting outside my work. I just finished. I'm a school bus driver and I thought, why not make a quick video? So here goes. So in 2014, my mother died of bowel cancer. And we found out from my father probably about, I don't know, maybe a few months afterwards. And it took him obviously quite some time to tell us what had happened. So anyway, we found out what happened and things progressed with mum's cancer, and we were back and forth for, I'm not crying, I'm just tired. And we were back and forth for things like hospital visits and stuff like that, and radiation treatments and you know, chemotherapy and updates, you know, and all that sort of thing, and you know, a poke here and a poke there and an injection there to sort of, you know, cure things. And anyway, things progressed and it got to the point where we were within hours of my mother dying, and it was really the last 4 days of before mum passed away that we spent most of the time in the hospital. And we were walking around a lot, visiting the chapel, myself I should say. My father was not a Christian, never has been, and the type of person he is, it's only by the grace of God he ever will be, because that man needs God, I tell you. And we were walking back and forth and I was visiting the chapel frequently, and the thing about me is I'm a singer, okay? I sing in my worship team at church, and mum always liked my voice. And it was on one of these occasions when I was visiting the chapel. It was one of these multi-faith chapels, but okay, that's neither here nor there, you know. They Buddhist in one corner and they had Sikh in another corner, but I went in there and my mind was squarely fixed on God and Jesus and my Christian faith, nothing else. So I was sitting in the chapel, in the Christian side of the chapel, and I was the only one in there, and I was praying away, and I says, God, you know, and by this point I just wanted God to take her, because she was so uncomfortable, and well, she wasn't uncomfortable at that point in time. She was medicated up to the eyeballs and high as a kite, so she was unconscious and out to lunch and starting to slip away. And so I'm sitting there and I'm praying, and I was like, oh, you know, really angry with God. And I was like, why are you keeping her? Why won't you just take her? What's taking so long? You know, just take her. And the reason I was happy for her to go was, if you check a few videos down, maybe even the last one, this is only the 4th video, Mum gave her life to Christ by a whiskers hair. At least I think she did. That's what I'm trying to believe and hoping for. But yeah, check the next video down, or the one after, I'm not sure. And anyway, so I was like, why, you know, standing there really angry at God, why are you keeping her here? Why aren't you taking her? And in a really clear voice, and it wasn't an audible voice like I could audibly hear it as if somebody else was in the room, but really clearly God spoke to me and said, I'm not going to take her until you sing. I thought, what? Instantly, this just filled me full of fear. Because picture this in your mind, right? It's a small room, mum's in the bed, we've got me, we've got my stepsister, we've got my brother, So I'm a middle child, older sister, younger brother. We've got my wife. Now, me and my wife were not together at the time. That's another video. But all I wanted was for my wife to take me back and just to help console me and stuff like that, you know, and she wouldn't, because that's another video all about my drug addictions that I kicked. And I just wanted my wife back, and it was a real intimate situation in the room, you know, people are crowding around the bed, and it's like, oh my God, you want me to sing in front of them? Oh my goodness, far out. And it took me all the courage I could muster to sing. So I'm sitting there next to her, and I started singing. And up to this point, there might be a few of you that go, oh, that's so sweet, that's so lovely. And I guess it is, but for the only song I could think to sing was Daniel by Elton John. I don't know why. I don't know why, but that is the only song that popped into my head that I could think to sing. And so I started singing it, and like, oh, I was so nervous, man, like just freaking out to the max, you know, real intimate situation, and here I am singing. And all I could think at the time, if I'm being completely honest and straight up with you, was, I just want this to be over with. I just want to stop singing. I'm so embarrassed, and I felt so, you know, just really embarrassed. And anyway, about halfway through the song, Dad said, "She's gone, Daryl." And, you know, her whole body had started letting go, and her nose was running and that, because that's what happens when somebody dies and they're slowly dying and their body gives up, is all, gosh, it sounds gross, doesn't it? The fluids start to let go, so the nose was going and running and all that sort of thing. And so, anyway, the doctor checked everything over and says, yeah, she's gone. And we all sort of cried for a bit, and it sounds really bad, doesn't it? We all cried for a bit, like, you know, Mum's gone, we better cry for a couple of minutes, you know. It wasn't like that. That's just my way of explaining things. But yeah, we were upset for a period of time before we sort of got ourselves together. And the ironic part about this is about half an hour afterwards, we were waiting for the undertakers to arrive. Is that what they're called? Undertakers, funeral directors, I don't know, to come and take the body and stuff, and Dad had to sign off on it and all that sort of thing. And we're standing outside on the road outside the hospital grounds smoking a cigarette, me and my uncle and my brother, because I smoked cigarettes at that time. And I just think back about that, and it's not funny, but I can't help but think back with a bit of humour. My mum just died of bowel cancer after smoking our whole life, and we're standing outside the hospital grounds smoking a ciggy after she passed away, you know. So, oh my goodness, I think back to that and I was like, oh. So yeah, that was, I suppose, above all else, probably the loudest and most certain I've ever been that it was God talking to me. Right? There was no doubt in my mind that this was God talking to me. And the fact of what happened, you know, like, I mean, I started singing to her, and halfway through the song, she sort of slipped away. So all I can think is, Mum, you could have stayed around for the whole song, but, you know, half of it, oh, I'm out of here, see ya. But yeah, so I hope that encouraged you, because it's something that sort of stuck with me. I only wish I could have thought of a better song to sing, like Daniel by Elton John. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so I guess what I want to sort of say to you is, if you are going through something with a loved one and it is a struggle, lean on God, because He's the one that will get you through things. And, you know, like I said, I was well, Mum was quite lucky. She gave her life to Christ by a whisker's hair. Like I said, that's in another video, but basically what happened there was the doctor came in 4 days before she slipped away, but by this point Mum was unconscious. Now, I believe that she wanted to get things right with God. Did I say doctor? Pastor, sorry. Yeah, the pastor came in 4 days before she slipped away, or no, sorry, I got that wrong. 4 days before Mum slipped away, she said she wanted to see the pastor. It was the day she died that the pastor came in, or the hospital chaplain, whatever they're called. And he prayed, and I believe that Mum wanted to get things right with God and give her life to Christ. So I believe that God knew that and that she's now in heaven. But there's a little part of me that struggles with that. And so I've got a video explaining that down below or above this one. I don't know. So yeah, I hope that encourages you, and I hope that if you are going through something that you do lean on God, because He's the answer. Hey, you know, He's the one that's going to get us through things, and we need to come to Him in prayer. And the hard part in a situation like this is finding comfort in God. I totally understand that, and I totally get it. But seek Him and run after Him and share all of your concerns and anxiety and issues and hang-ups and everything with Him, because, you know, He listens, He loves us, and He's a, you know, just go and pray to Jesus, give all your problems to Him, and try to find comfort where you can. Friends are good. Christian friends are fantastic, because they will be able to console with you and pray with you, and you know, like, there's other things as well, like, you know, if you're a Christian you can pray for healing, and that's great, and I'm not saying that won't happen. Of course it will happen if it's Jesus' will. But I also think on the same respect is that some people are destined to die and not be healed. And again, I'm not saying that God can't heal people. If you're praying for healing, it's going to happen if you truly want it, and if it's God's will through His Son Jesus, okay? But sometimes when people's time's up, their time is up. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video. So this is a brand new ministry, and if you want to support me, I've got a Buy Me a Coffee page. Yes, I have, and I'll leave that in the description link. Otherwise, you're welcome to subscribe and listen to me rattle on. I've got a bit of a confession. This is the second round of this channel. I started a channel like this about, I don't know, maybe 9-10 months ago, and the first 3 videos on this channel here, were originally filmed and put on my first channel. So the first 3 on here were filmed some time ago. So this is actually the freshest video right now on this channel. But the subject matter and the topics in the videos that I filmed a long time ago still stand. They're still true, and they still mean as much then as they do now. So thank you for watching, and feel free to hit the subscribe button and all that sort of thing, as the young ones say. And you know, stay strong in Christ, and just keep on keeping on, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and happy days. Bye.